Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the online European Major. Toby once again, and back with Fru, of course, as we get back into things. Alex, that first game was a nail-biter. I watched it from start to finish. That last map was close as anything, and that last round as well was incredibly uncomfortable for Obey at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I had to take a little bit of a breather between that and this game. It really was a fantastic series to kick off the championship Sunday. And yes, for Obey, it was a difficult one, but I think they showed a lot of promise in that. And I think Regal as well. They did very, very well to absorb a lot of the pressure that was being put against them. So I think benefits for both teams, and I think benefit the stream as well. What a fantastic series to kick it all off.
Yeah, and of course, my prediction, again, off by a map. But we were close, weren't we? Obey almost closed that one out and almost got us into a map number 3, and that could have been a very tasty thing to watch.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been, but it didn't happen. Regal punching their way through. They get that rematch against 3X Rowdy. They lost to them yesterday, and they lost 2-0 as well. It was a pretty convincing win for 3X. So that's going to be an interesting rematch happening off stream. But on stream, Toby, we've got the match of the ages, haven't we, really? This winners bracket final, Rated R, #1 team in Europe, Elevate, former #1 team in Europe. It's just going to be fantastic. Can't wait.
Absolutely. Rated R and Elevate head-to-head for the first time in this tournament. Of course, the storylines yesterday were that the pro teams weren't looking as great, and of course, Obey almost, taking a map off Rated R. Elevate having a little bit more of a difficult of a time on their first map on Exhibit versus Rowdy 3X. But here we are, finding the two teams actually haven't dropped the map, though, have they, Alex? So they are definitely performing, at least in the map count basis, as expected. And of course, who would have predicted again seeing the winners bracket final of these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, 2-0s across the board. As you said, actually, Obey, they run Rated R pretty close yesterday, didn't they, on Asylum? They're 4-0 up, and to come back and lose 5-4, it's just another one for Obey's checklist of things to throw, isn't it? It's so bad. It's so unlucky for them. And for Rated R, though, it showed tremendous resolve to make sure they're carrying on that flawless record and obviously coming through into a grand final, not a grand final, a winners bracket final matchup against their arch rivals, essentially, in Elevate. They had a fantastic series both times they played each other in the league. It was 2-1 both times. They had a fantastic series in the Gridiron tournament. It's just a back and forth constantly between these two teams, and I don't think anyone would have predicted a different winners bracket final.
And I think something that we have to highlight going into this is how rare it is to find two teams at the top of Europe being so neck and neck, right? Usually it's been this Elevate squad just dominating for the entirety of Gears 4, much like Optic, of course, of old back in Gears 4. But now Rated R, of course, they won the league. No one would have predicted that Elevate would be topped out there or for even a quarter in the Pro League. But here they are. Rated R versus Elevate, and honestly, Alex, I feel as though this winners bracket final could dictate who wins the whole tournament, simply because they're so neck and neck. That advantage in a best of 5 series is massive, right?
Yeah, I mean that's something I guess we should go into a little bit more. Is what do the teams get out of this one? You're right. You're totally right. The winner of this team gets that automatic advancement into that grand final, which is a huge bonus as well, right? Having to dodge either 3X Rowdy or Regal Reserve, who are both looking very, very strong at the moment. So that's advantage 1, and yeah, as you said, advantage 2. The team going through the winners side of things gets that 1 map lead. They go into that best of 5 with a 1 map advantage. What does that mean? That team only has to win 2 maps in that grand final, whereas the opposition has to win 3. It's definitely a huge, huge advantage. And especially between these two teams, if we are to see, the matchup again in that grand final, it's always been a close affair between them. It's always been 2-1, 1-2. And to ask a team to win by a 2-map advantage, that's so difficult for the team coming from that loser's bracket side. I honestly think we'd be more likely to see an upset from the loser side if it was 2 best of 3s. Like, I kind of feel like the teams are that close. And to ask them to double up and go, 1 extra than what we've seen so far, going to be a big task. So, yeah, you're right. 100%, a lot on the line today. And especially in this opening matchup, there's a lot on the line in this one as well.
Absolutely. Well, let's check out the picks and bans because, of course, with two teams being this close, every little variable matters. And here we are. Picks and bans, training grounds, of course, banned out by Rated R. Vazgar, meanwhile, banned out by Elevate. The first map we will be going to Bunker, a strong map for both teams here, I would argue. Rated R picking Exhibit. Of course, that's definitely a strong map for them. Rated R banned out Icebound, a ban on Asylum for Elevate, and if we need it, which I think we will, Fruit, it will be District, map number 3. What are we thinking, looking at this screen?
I'm thinking these are all maps that they've played so far in the Pro League. So in the Pro League, we had 6 maps played between these two teams. They played 2 different cycles the 2 times they met. The only map they haven't played overall is Training Ground. So absolutely no surprise to see that one banned out. In terms of the first 2, though, those maps went either way. Bunker, that went 5-2 to Elevate the last time they matched up on it. Exhibit, it went 5-1 to Rated R. So those 2 maps could, quite easily be split very, very quickly between the 2 teams. District, on the other hand, Elevate, they had the choice between Asylum and District as that final map. And for me, I think they've made the right choice here because District was a map they beat Rated R on. They beat them 5-3 the second time they met up. And it was a good game from Elevate. We don't see much of them on District, but they look strong on that. On the other side of things, Asylum, they lost that to Rated R in that very series 5-1 as well. So I think they did well dodging, and I think they've chose the right map here. I think this is an advantage Elevate.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, right? Bunker could be a map where I feel as though Elevate might slow it down quite a bit. Yesterday we saw a lot of overextensions on this map in multiple matches, right? Constantly, when there was a numbers advantage gained from the center of the map, players would fly over to the enemy's home hill. Of course, Elevate are known to try and triple cap at every opportunity, but I feel as though they might show a little bit more respect here to the shotguns of Rated R. They want to lean on their strength of their teamwork. Of course, oftentimes when we look at the 2 teams stylistically, we think Rated R, better with the shotguns. They want to get up close and personal and win matches that way. Elevate more your opportunistic team-based team. And as such, I think maybe a bit more passiveness from Elevate in this tournament scenario. What are you thinking on that note?
I'd agree with you. Something we saw last week in the Pro League, and I've touched on it, I think once before on the stream yesterday, was that Elevate, when they played them, they were not afraid to leave those kind of close quarter setups and drop back a line. They saw Rated R in, and they didn't want to fight them on the front foot. They wanted to fight them on the back foot. And for Elevate, that's not a bad decision because they are such a good teamwork-oriented team, as you said. They like to fire for each other. Their lances are on point, and they're always shooting the right targets. They don't allow Rated R to get in their faces, and that for me is going to be a key point. Can they find those secondary defenses where they can utilize those longer range weapons, keep Rated R at bay, and keep the fights basically at that kind of range, team oriented rather than individual oriented? I don't think Elevate will be upset if they have to fight close quarters. They're 5 fantastic slayers in their own right. Some would say the best 5 in Europe. Some would argue that's definitely incorrect, and I'd be one of the latter, but they are definitely up there with the likes of Rated R on the slaying department too. So I don't think there's much worry whichever fight they find themselves in, but for me, the way that Elevate win is to find those back setups.
Yeah, can't agree more there, Alex. And of course, initials matter very, very much, and even to build up those setups. So Elevate will have to have some team fight shotgun battles at the start of every single round on pretty much every map, though. And of course, a big head-to-head to note is Pains and Hydro. These are your front runners in most maps, I think it's safe to say. And even Pains is said to be, of course, by his teammate Marsh yesterday in the interview, that he might be the best front spawner in the whole game, perhaps, but at least in Europe, he argued. And as such, I'm curious now, who is going to turn up today? Pains, we know, is a fast mover. He's great with a shotgun. But Hydron, he can often be the team that gives Elevate that numbers advantage and gets them out of the sticky scenarios, right?
Yeah, I'd agree. You know what? Marsh's comment about Pains being the best front spawn in Europe, I wouldn't disagree right now. He's the front spawn on most maps for them and is very, very strong on across the board. As you said, Elevate, Hydron on that front spawn. Sometimes we see Jackfex in there on maps like Asylum as well. And it really depends on the map for Elevate. I actually think that Jackfex is a better front spawn than Hydron in that regards. That's my opinion, at least. I see more consistent play from him. But both of those matching up against Pains, I would give it to Pains. You're right.
Yeah, Jackfex was actually very good on Iceburn there. So that's a very good shout. Yesterday, he was doing another stream, actually. Plenty of streams we've seen Jackfex do amazing on that particular map. But of course, the first map is Bunker. That mid-cut point we'll have to keep a close eye on to see who can abuse the right-hand advantage and really push up with the flanks and whatnot. Of course, another thing to mention as well is, of course, Jack Reaction's, somewhat controversial points in his interview. He feels as though Rated R do perhaps overly rely on their aggression, their shotgun, to really get them out of sticky scenarios and put them ahead of their opposition. He even went on to say that some American teams might expose them somewhat in terms of their rotations and how passive they are or fail to be when the game calls for it. Do you think there's any weight behind, that point? Do you think as though maybe Elevate is one of these top teams that might be able to show up some of the weaknesses in the rated R strategy?
Bit of a two-parter. Do I think there's weight to it? Somewhat. I think Jack was attacking pretty much everyone in that interview, but rightly so, actually. Like, his comments were pretty valid for the most part. And I think Rated R, they've worked on this a lot across this league. I would say, yes, they are definitely more reliant than most other teams at that level on their kind of close quarters engagements. But can they play that long-range game? Can they play, with those supporting rifles? By all means. They don't get to the top of the Pro League without being able to do both. I think they've definitely come a long way since the last quarter, where they came in and looked good but didn't look fantastic. I think this quarter they're a lot better in that regard, and I think Elevate will be able to deal with it. But I do think that Rated R are up there as well.
Well, it does feel as though we are in person through as the hype and energy is building. A winner's bracket final potentially for the history books. Rated R versus Elevate. Getting into this one, it is Bunker, and we're starting off with that very front spawn. Pains, let's see what he can do here.
That's it, and he is up against Jackfex, actually, and as you said, Pains coming out on top, potentially that best opener, but Hydra with that follow-up does get that double kill, so it's actually a bit of a 1-2 there for Elevate. Both Godfex, Jackfex, as he's now known, and, of course, Hydrone getting involved in that opening fight. Will be a good start here for Elevate. Strikers pushing very, very aggressively, full red. Trying to get that kill here, but Crimson's waiting around the corner. We'll start to try and put a bit of pressure on this aggression here from Rated R. Once again, both these teams like to start strong, don't they? They like to get that opening round. They like to be very, very aggressive with it. And it looks to be Elevate getting the best of this one so far, as they do start to claim this artillery area. No lock-in on that B hill just yet, but that will come in time, as they're looking more for the kills at this moment in time.
Well, you called it there, Alex. Jackfex on the front spawn did a very good job of handling Pains and managing that opening cut area. Of course, the reward is the B hill, and they're going to try and set up. And I actually like this position from Jack as he's rotated up top. He's kind of just sitting on top of the hill there to keep observations, but, not committing himself to a cover inside because, of course, he can very much get stuck in there if the push does come through.
Very, very true. Things will settle down a little bit here as the team start to figure out what their next play is. Toby, as we can see here with Pains, having a look down towards this bottom side of the map, trying to get himself into that little enclosed there as his teammate backs him up in Striker. Striker's got to be careful here with that Lancer out. Will get pushed. I mean, he's obviously confident in his movement. If you're Lancering whilst there's a player on a cover just 2 blocks away, you know that you can get out of there in time. That's a pretty good sign that this player is very, very comfortable in maneuvering himself. But now looking, try and find a little bit of a gib there. Doesn't able to find anything, and Dragons will get taken out here.
Yeah.
See Hydrone getting another kill to his name, and Hydrone very, very good this round so far.
Yep, thanks to a great break actually and cap by Rated R. Onto the B side, we see Elevate pushing up top now. Hydron starting to get the angle as things do be thrown into the action. Actually, our Rated R down bottom. Crimson's Phelpsy picking up kills. Striker's forced to save his life in this one. Crimson's, he's hungry, he's thirsty. Trying to find Crimson's, or Dragons rather. Dragon says no, shuts him down with a nice back A. Hydron still picking up those kills up top though, keeping Rated R at bay on that side of the map, maintaining that angle.
There's a good angle. You can see just clipping Dragons right on the knee. Does get that down in the end, but teammate there to revive him, and we'll get pushed off that top side by Pains pretty quickly now. And here we said 2 of those top players, Pains and Hydron, facing off. Top bunker here is Marsh. The player we've not touched much about on that opening sequence, but gave a great interview yesterday to the to Tun on the EGL broadcast, and Pains here gets a very good kill there on Hydron as well. Swarm will win in 60 seconds, but you can see the pressure is on here. Marsh trying to get this decap. As long as he's got his foot in it, that will decap here. And oh, look at that Lancer as well. That's a heads-up play. Not able to find the 1v1, but is able to help his team out on the artillery side. It is going to be Elevate, though, Toby. They are clutching up here. 4 dead from Rated R is not a good sign.
Very, very smart play so far from Elevate. It's clinical, in fact. They're managing every side of the map perfectly. They only push up top when they can get the angle down bottom very safely indeed. Of course, Hydron picking up a number of eliminations up top there. But of course, they also returned back. They returned back to the safety of their hill. Marsh was eager to try and push them at every opportunity, but Hydron and Jackfax simply did not let them. Of course, rotations down bottom definitely helped then in building that points advantage. Definitely a very strong round from Elevate, and definitely working out very, very well for them so far, this strategy.
It is indeed, and something we see. Oh, we had a bit of a score update there. Regal off the blocks, flying 5-2. They lead 1-0 against 3x Rowdy in that losers bracket round 4 game. It's pretty good, isn't it? That is pretty good. They had a very, very tough time against 3x yesterday, so seeing they're going up 1-0 here, that's one in the bag for the Pro League team.
Yeah, and I think it's great as well because Obey were a tough opponent, supposedly, going into today, but Regal really did open up with a fantastic 2-0 victory after a close last map on District. But in towards the winners bracket final, back we go. Phelpsy opening up against Pains. He'll be shut down once more. Jackfex, again, the manager of this middle point area of Bunker. Careful not to get too close, of course, although when he can strike, he will do that. Striker's running away as well, and Jackfex forced to do the same, but I like that from Strikers again, showing as much respect as possible to Jackfex. He's left him with little options.
No options at all, really. You can see Dragons just get that kill on Crimsons. And he's doing all right so far. Not the flashiest of starts from Dragons, who, you know, he's one of those players that time after time, consistency and absolutely fantastic plays. Both of them, they're in his repertoire. But, you know, he's got a much stronger opponent than he has against any other team here in Elevate. It really is difficult to make these plays.
Yeah, I feel as though Elevate right now are doing such a great job of containing Rated R. They're not allowing the players to get flashy. If any push is to come through, they make it as hard as possible for them, by using every available cover and keeping distance, playing for that damage. But of course, Elevate, when they can strike, they seem to be doing just that as well. So it's a very good balance right now between passion, passiveness, and aggression from Elevate.
Very, very good at it. That's a good kill by Crimsons. Perfect timing there, but Strikers, he replies. Nice headshot there on Crimsons. And now this is just a bit of a back and forth, isn't it, between the two teams vying for control over this B hill. They will do this push and pull for quite a while across all rounds. Both teams, they know one death can be pretty much the end of the round, so they like to be so clean with their retakes. Elevate perhaps a little bit more so than Rated R. See Crazed putting damage down, just trying to keep Rated R red here, making sure they're not healing up. Striker's trying to do his best here to try and make something happen as well in the mid, and Slays in, also pushing forward. It will be Elevate though, yep, as I said, finding those downs, one down, one kill. That's all they need really to start things off here, and now the kill frenzy starts to happen as Craze gets the headshot. Nice down there on Slays in as well. The revive is not going to be there for Rated R, and that will be a nice cleanup. 3 dead on the blue side. As Elevate, they just look to get control, don't they? Rated R, they got a lot of points to play with here. You can see there's a 50-point lead or so. But it is Elevate in control, and they don't often relinquish it.
And look at this as well. Phelpsy immediately running backwards here. Jackfex isn't going to help Phelpsy get some shots off on Rated R as they spawn up. They really are keeping the distance as much as feasibly possible here on Bunker. Jackfex has been pushed out, so he could get angled from the left, and as such, he will move away as well. I like this. Smart repositioning, and he knows Rated R regrouping up top now for a potential move here. But the Elevate squad are just rotating around, containing them as they move across the width of Bunker.
And that's why they're so good at this, isn't it? Their containment is fantastic. They do it to every single team. It doesn't matter what region you're from. It doesn't matter what level you are. They're able to do it. Hydra finding a nice double kill there on Pains. Striker's going to fall as well, and this looks to be Elevate turning it up a little bit here. This should be their round. Score lead now in their favor. You can see Jack getting that kill on Dragons. Hydron's all the way over the A hill, and whether it will be a points win or a domination, doesn't really matter. It's going to go the way of Elevate, and they will find themselves 2-0 up now. 2 good, strong rounds in a row there for Elevate.
Absolutely. 2-0 now, and Elevate's game plan is clear. We've said it time and time again. We thought they might show a bit more respect to Rated R and, you know, keep their distance and play for damage at all opportunities. But right now, it's every single play and every single round that we've seen. Question is, are Rated R aware as we are? Are they going to play a little bit more aggressively? Certainly, throwing fire from your hand might be able to help that. Of course, the impact that Incense can have is unquestionable. And on this map, so far through, it would definitely help out in the middle area of the map or up top. as Elevate are really dominating these sides.
They are dominating indeed. But the opening once again here. Haynes finding his way in from a different angle this time around against Phelpsy. In that cave, will have the support he needs to find that opening kill, and this is good for Rated R as they open well here. We can see as well, they're pushing down onside the B as well. We have a push on both fronts coming from Rated R. They're going to back off, and this is a bit dangerous from Slazin. He knows there's two people in front of him. Slazin will go down once again, actually, and Hydron, he will trade out. So Slazin falls, Hydron falls as well. We can see here, Marsh putting the pressure on. Will back off, will go back to his team, and will set up once again. And this is where they've got to be careful. They can't give Elevate too much control, and it is about, as you know, Jack said in that reaction, about stepping back now and again. Giving a little bit, giving an inch, but not a mile, and I think that's a very good way to look at it. You can back off, but you can still be impactful, right? And doesn't necessarily mean you have to give up a location, it just means you're not putting yourself in a dangerous situation.
Well, after Rated R's first initial victory and setup, Elevate have immediately broken it. They've taken down Marsh. They have 3 players in amongst B. And they're very easily taking back ground from Rated R. I think you nailed it there, Alex. Perhaps Rated R gave them a little bit too control of the map. All Rated R players have moved all the way back to their third of bunker, and Hydron has moved his way all the way from up top to this pipe here, which gives a very good angle on the rest of the map. And in fact, he's rotating all the way back now, knowing Rated R are trying to make their way up there.
Yep, that's it, isn't it? And now full control once again. Elevate, they're able to hold this. They're able to hold this very, very well. And Rated R, they're not having much luck in these retake attempts. Not at all. Good defense here by Phelpsy. Good Lancerfire coming in. Doesn't able to get anyone down, but puts enough damage in here for his team to try and clean up around him. Now Phelpsy pushing forward, but Strikers has got 2. Little push going on. You can see Elevate. They're making this rotation round, trying to take this bunker control. And they do find Marsh. This is pretty good.
Oh, Hydron overextending for the first time this map, I believe, but quickly running all the way back as soon as Rated R do present themselves. Lancering into his side. Good job to keep his life, and Rated R, of course, a very important recovery of the B hill it was. With the scores starting to get a little bit too close for comfort for Elevate. Of course, 40 seconds to go if Rated R to hold 2 hills for the remainder of the round, but something tells me that's not going to happen. As the Incend is thrown, not going to connect. Phelpsy will get a nice little up A though, and they'll be looking for Slazin potentially. Will Elevate, he's full red. Dragons comes to support from middle, and it all does happen in this house as Jackfex picks up 2. Great movement from him, and that could be it. 10 seconds to go. A hill has been broken though. But thankfully for Elevate, they only need 1 hill to remain, and Hydron with his prototypical overextension. Elevate are doing such a great job at managing bunker here. And it really does come to that for me, through the management of up top, the cut area, the Rated R players, and simply keeping a little bit more distance between them and their opponents, perhaps, than they would other European teams. It's amazing to watch.
Yep, they are looking like a championship team right here, aren't they? They're looking so, so strong. You can see on that deaths column specifically, 2 deaths on a couple of players, 4 deaths the maximum for Elevate, whereas we're up to like 8, 9 on the Rated R front. It's very, very difficult for Rated R to kind of keep in this with the points when, you know, on the other side of things, you're just dying a lot more than the opposition. Pistols going down here as a location for Phelpsy. DROPSHOT going into that middle though, Toby. This is going to spice things up a little bit. Artillery going to be that focus for pretty much the rest of this map now. As you can see, Rated R, they're wanting to get down and dirty. They want Elevate to fight them. And I like that. It's a good option for them.
Yeah. It makes total sense, doesn't it? You want to be a bit more aggressive? Well, perhaps put the most aggressive inducing weapon here on the center hill. Pains, he's moved now. He wants to be nearer the drop shot than the center. Oh my goodness, what an incend from the European star himself with that very weapon. Very good job, but unfortunately for him, the drop shot will be picked up nonetheless as Strikers comes around the back and secures that all-important weapon, and perhaps a capture very soon. Phelpsy looking to see what he can do with the Boltok, because Rated R do regroup for a potential chain revive if necessary. You saw Hydron to the corner of the screen, overextending a little, but clearly spotted out by the Rated R team as they rotate back around. Whereas Elevate do hold control up top for now, but I feel like DROPSHOT could be very influential in gathering this B hill soon.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think it is. We know it will be. And there was the swap out. Just getting that in the hands of someone that they would prefer it in. Marsh getting the opportunity now to use that drop shot around. And that's a bit confusing for Elevate. If they didn't see that swap, they won't know where this drop shot is. They'll assume it's still down bottom. Marsh on a different character. You know, you often track weapons by character, right? They'll be saying, okay, Coltrane has X. And in this case, he's got that drop shot out. Elevate. There goes the drop shot. A little bit long, actually. But it doesn't matter in the end. Jackvex forced straight into Strikers. They're good down there on Dragons, but Dragons will get revived. So 4v5 situation here. Rated R in the advantageous position for a few seconds. Elevate, they're making that push across the top, and realistically, this drop shot not in the position to help here. Hasn't got sightlines. He's just going to have to fire. Using those spots as a guideline, and Dragon's getting pushed very, very quickly. Hydron finds the kill. And Marsh, he doesn't have that Lancer, so he can't really offer any good support down there. He needs to move with that drop shot. He needs to find a play with it. And being up top in that tower, it's a very, very difficult position to make a play from when this push-up is coming through the bunker side.
And Elevate are moving horizontally on his screen, and not only is there distance, there's also that lateral movement to consider. And because of that, it's such a risky drop shot to fire out, especially when you can get a simple drop shot to come to defend the B hill into the later portions of this round. And I feel like, unless absolutely forced to, that is Marsh's overall goal. Protect that B hill with that drop shot from the heights advantage point. And Elevate, they're trying to pick up numbers. They're trying to open the map up a little bit. I think they're doing that now. Nice kills onto Pains. Phelpsy actually opting to try and flank round. Spots Marsh while Hydron is off for a break. And that will definitely spur Rated R into movement now. Elevated picking up numbers. And in fact, it's 3 seconds ago until domination potentially comes on through. Hydron wins his 1v1. Pains, can he save the day versus the man? Hydron, unfortunately for him, he cannot do that. And Elevate spring into action through the top end of the map, and despite that drop shot through, Elevate make it look easy.
They really do, don't they? I mean, we said that Elevate, they had a good time of this map last time they matched up on it was the 23rd of March, Toby. 5-2 it was over towards Elevate, but this time around they're not happy with giving up rounds. They want it to be flawless as they go up 4-0. That was a very, very nice play there, but you know, if you're looking at for some criticism, I guess, on the Rated R side of things, the fact that they were pushing down through that open space on the right-hand side of the bunker there and able to get kills whilst Rated R were fully set up in defensive mode, that speaks volumes about how strong Rated R's defense is, and it's not strong enough, obviously, as they do find the kills. Pains goes down. Dragons fell very, very quickly, and Marsh up top with that drop shot could do absolutely nothing about it.
Well, as we go into the second half, it honestly seems like Elevate are teaching Rated R how to play bunker and how to optimize your game as a team. Pains, he definitely needed that open initial as he finds Crimson's make that another on Hydron. Jackvex answering back, picking up another, but surely the pinch will come through soon, and he will fall. Drop shot going the way of Rated R. Crazed, left to his own devices, and numbers are immediately heading his way. Good job to stay alive, but this is definitely a Rated R initial win.
Yeah, and Strikers, they just missed that member of Elevate rather, as you know, he was just moving around the back of the covers on bunker. That's a missed opportunity for another kill, in my opinion. But on the back of that, Rated R, they do have that double cap. Good Boltox coming out here from Phelps. He switches to that Nasher, and a very, very nice spread there will secure that kill on Dragons. Phelps now pushing through the fire. Will get himself underneath this bunker and will be all right for the time being. Climbing the ladder now.
Ooh,
this is
risky.
Not something that you often see. Yeah, it is very, very risky because if someone's at that window, you're pretty much going to get two-shot every single time, but he's managed to make it work. He's found his way through, and he has good control there on the other side. Slays in now, trying his best here to find some kills. Just find that down on Crazed, and it's a little bit better from Rated R as they're starting to win a few fights here. Pains with that knife, does get one there as well, but will get taken out. Just not really aware of his situation, his surroundings as he takes cover on that mid-cover Crimsons. With that Lancer fire in the side, does find it out now. Slays in, starting to push a little bit more aggressively. And this is more like the Rated R we used to, isn't it? Very, very fast, constant aggression. But Elevate, they can do that too.
This is lovely from Pains, actually. Despite questionable positioning, he's starting to come into his own. The usual Pains, the icebreaker, the eliminator that he's known to be. Hydron again pressuring the enemy's home hill. He's like a nuisance, just like we see on Asylum in that mid-cut. He's now flying across the map on Bunker, constantly making Rated R look back and check twice. And Pains as well, still alive, but Elevate, they're being proactive over at the E-Hill, much like Phelpsy down bottom. And as it stands, Rated R do have the points advantage, but Elevate are certainly not making it easy.
They are not at all. I don't think that's in their repertoire, is it? I don't think they know how to make it easy. Their normal game plan, their normal level is just superb. It really does take a fantastic team to beat Elevate. And Rated R, they have been that team on occasion, haven't they? And we've said throughout the season, Toby, many, many times, who is the best team in Europe? Which is it, Rated R or is it Elevate? Elevate, they've looked to have slipped a little bit. Rated R, this new school team, definitely have been put in Elevate against the ropes here, but another good play by Craze. Dives down forward. Pains, though, makes him pay, and now Pains looking for his double kill. He has got a bit of teammates in tow there, and on the other side of things, Rated R, full control of this Elevate home hill. They have to force Crimsons to push in here. Will get taken down, will get taken out, if not for a second. Rated R, they stop the drought. They find their first round, and they will lock in that #1.
Yeah, deserved round of that. Rated R, a lot better in that one. They cleanly won that fight down bottom for that drop shot.
Yep.
And they started managing the map well. A little bit more, of course, with the E-Hill up top, and I guess that's not as great of a tool for Elevate to abuse anymore. As the more numbers you throw up there, I guess the shotgun battles can be more easily forced, and Elevate can't be as passive, especially when they need to cap up a hill. In terms of weapon placements, of course, the incens will be halved, and that's right in between... the drop shot, rather, is right in between those two incens, and so we'll be seeing them in the fight off the bat. Of course, starting off with Jackfax again, the front spawn for this map. Certainly heralded for his consistency as a shotgun player. Often not talked about as much as the other Elevate players, that's safe to say. And let's see, can he do anything on the jump up? Marsh doesn't make it easy for him. Of course, Rated R taking the cover advantage here, slight height advantage, and really doesn't give Jackfax many options here. You'll have to mantle at some point if he's to push around the right and gain right-hand advantage versus strikers here. But he really needs his teammates to help out just a little bit. He's still looking for it. There we go. Crimsons comes around the flank, allowing Jackfax to spring into action. Finds one, but Pains does respond. Big 1v1. Pains finding that one. And Marsh is on hand with the chain revive. Drop shot is available. Well, actually, it's not available.
that medic duty was fantastic. It is available. Marsh has found it. It was a bit late. Going to force the play out of Crazed here. And sorry, is it Crazed? Yeah, it is Crazed. Crazed finds the kill on Dragons, and that's a misplay if you're Dragons, to be honest with you. You've used a drop shot to try and get this. And right now, you are -1 drop shot, -1 player. That really wasn't a good play for Rated R, but Elevate, it will go down. Crazed will fall in the end. But you got to look at the scoreline. For all it's worth, for all those clutch plays coming out of the likes of Pains, Elevate, they are still up 50 points now at the moment. 140 to 90. Elevate lead this one. Potentially a final round for them. Drop shot going to come through. Miscoordinated play? No. Perfect play as Marsh gets that headshot. I thought the down might have come in just before it, but it didn't in the end. We did see a fantastic headshot coming through. And Elevate, they've got to back off here. Good incend coming through.
Yeah, Hydron trying to find that kill on Pains, and he does a good job of that. Slays in, trying to be on hand to defend him. Unfortunately, will take out his teammate in the process, but it doesn't matter as he answers back with a lovely back A against Hydron. And Phelpsy winning a shotgun battle elsewhere to keep the odds fairly even up top.
Yep.
Of course, nice capture from Rated R after that drop shot kill came in. Phelpsy trying to open things up here. Was essentially a 1v2 in the end because Jackfax was not on hand to provide support in the closing moments there. And he's still getting angled out, but great job from Jackfax. Not only has he picked up that kill, but he's not got down in the process through.
Yeah, you got to question what Dragons is doing really there. He doesn't need to be so far across the top. He's not really gaining anything from it, and he can't support his teammate. Jackfax making them pay for some pretty shoddy positioning, and now Dragons trying to push his way back up. Going to find himself in another bad situation. Will go down again. See that on that kill feed, so Phelpsy and Crimsons in support with Jack will take full control of that E-Hill. And if you're Elevate, you're going to win in just 10 seconds time here. Strikers trying to get that decap. Will not be able to. Rated R, they're pushing here. Marsh gets one, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Elevate, they're going to come through in just a second's time and take this one very, very convincingly. 5-1 the scoreline as Elevate take that first map, get ever so closer to that grand final.
Well, there you have it. Hydrone with the MVP again and again. He seems to secure that position at the end scoreboard. And a very good game from him. And Elevate, of course, as well. It just seemed like they were setting the pace for the game most of the times they're through. Of course, Rated R started to come into their own a little bit. The usual selves starting to show up on those initials, winning the drop shot a number of times as the reward. But, you know, they never got too much out of that, did they? We didn't see any drop shot double kills, I don't believe. We had some kills from Marsh, but all it really got was a cap here and there. It was never a team wipe. It was never the first step to a domination. It was more so Elevate consistently containing their opponents and really showing them that they're a Championship Sunday team.
Yeah, no, we all know they are, don't we? We've seen Elevate do this time and time again, turn up at tournaments and just look phenomenal. Majors throughout Gears 5 have not been kind to this Elevate team. They've had strong matchups, they've had poor games, and realistically, this EU Major is a time for them to show what they're about, that they are, once again, you know, one of those top 4 global teams, a championship winning team. And, you know, they're just a map away from getting themselves into that grand final, Toby, and looking like that, so far at least, they are that team indeed. Bunker, it was their pick, wasn't it? 5-2 last time, 5-1 this time, a slight improvement, but I don't think we're too shocked about that one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too shocked that Elevate won, but in terms of round to round, how easy they made it look, I think that really does speak worlds for Elevate in terms of how they're performing today, and that perhaps their strategy overall goal is on point in terms of how they approach playing against Rated R. And of course, that's an interesting dynamic, isn't it? We're at a major event, Elevate, the players individually, as a team, so much more experience under the belt in tournaments with these stakes. But of course, it's also online, and we think maybe that would help out Rated R quite a lot. You know, from the comfort of their own homes. Yes, the prize pool is massive, but they're still not in that different environment with people over their shoulder and all that pressure mounting that a main stage can have. And I wonder, right now, is the pressure perhaps getting to Rated R a little bit? Or is it more so that Elevate were just playing incredibly well and really had their number on that first map?
I think it's the latter, to be honest with you. I don't think Rated R are a team that, you know, they fold under pressure. I've watched that team on a side station against Astral with, you know, 100 people around them screaming for the opposition team, absolutely demolish. And they looked fantastic whilst doing it, and they were laughing whilst doing it. I don't think they're a team that folds under pressure. I think that was purely Elevate up in their game and looking really, really strong.
Absolutely fair enough. And I think I agree with that for sure. I mean, we didn't see the star plays that we usually see from Rated R. But again, I think that leans more into how Elevate were playing as a team and really not allowing anything to get through. In terms of the second map, though, we're going into Exhibit, Alex. And of course, it's a bit of a contrast for me between Bunker and Exhibit. I think Bunker is a lot easier to set up. There's a lot more space. There's more angles to be had. But on Exhibit, you have those all-important corridors. Utility starts coming into the mix a little bit more and how often it dictates the course of fights. And this is, of course, Rated R's pick. Do you think we're going to see a lot different of a performance here from Rated R?
I mean, I would hope so. It's a difficult one to really talk about this Exhibit because, yeah, the last time that they matched up, Rated R did demolish Elevate. They 5-1'd them. They look very, very good. But we have to, kind of look at the past as well. The time before that, Elevate did the exact same to Rated R. It was 5-1 and Elevate looked unstoppable on it. So for me, this is a bit of a power pick if you're Rated R. They picked this because they know Elevate have said time and time again, we're the best team on Exhibit in Europe. Rated R, they proved them wrong last time, and they're going to try and prove them wrong again here.
Well, here we go, ladies and gents, back into gameplay. Map number 2 here of Winners Bracket Final, Elevate versus Rated R. Of course, a very strong start from Elevate. But second map, Exhibit, is Rated R's pick, and we saw how well they played on this very map yesterday, as we get a little bit more close quarters. And perhaps Rated R improved ability to get up close and personal with their opposition. Let's see. Crazed opening things up with a down. And a kill of that as well, as actually Rated R have been super aggressive into the B hill here, crossing over from one corridor to the next to abuse that numbers advantage as Jackfax is blown away.
Yep, they are so good at these close quarters fights, are Rated R, and they can just swarm forward and find a way through and find more and more kills. But I think they might have pushed a little bit too aggressively here. I think they might have to back off. Elevate, they're going to be off spawn. Dragon's taking a lot of damage. You see Hydron going down, and that might be the opening that they need, as they do now put all 5 members into this fight here. It's a 4v5 for the second, but Marsh has found a flank. Elevate know about it, though. They turn it back around, and this is the point at which Rated R, they should back off here. They're going to lose so many people if they continue this fight.
Oh,
Done well so far, but Elevate, they're just going to keep coming off spawn and keep killing you off.
Dragon's taking down his player as well as they try and escape the clutches of Elevate there. And you're right, Fru, I think it's just been a very rosy walk back to B Hill for Elevate from their home hill. Very easy retake, and Rated R are going to have to try and do something drastic to throw themselves back into action here. And it looks like they've gone for the up-top strategy, at least first. 2 players already finding themselves back outside the A-Hill room, if you will.
Yep.
But Elevate, they know. You know, they're all on the same page here, Alex. Craze has immediately returned back to the cover of his spawn. Hydron is lancering down, though. But I like this from Rated R nonetheless. They've rotated back around, and they've been able to capture the B Hill despite some deaths here.
Yep. They are getting pressured hard, though. Striker's going to fall here. Crimson's will cap up that B Hill. You can see him putting some good pressure down on Rated R. Rated R having to back off here. As you can see, Crimson's now just getting full control of this aquarium side of things. And he knows that Rated R, they will start to push down in just a second. They will try and get control here, and he is going to get pushed. But on the other side of things, he knows Jack, Fex, and Craze. They found a couple of kills, so his job is easy. Crimson's job is purely just stay alive, wait for your team to loop back round and help you out. He's done exactly that now as Phelps, he finds that down on Dragons. Hydron's going to clean that one up with a headshot here, and Elevate, they're starting to move forward a little bit here as Striker's going to go down very easily. He should have backed off there, in my opinion, and Elevate, with just 25 seconds before they win, are going to turn the tide here in this opening round.
This is looking good for Elevate. They're closing in on all sides. Elimination will even come on through as they don't even need a domination to finish off that first round. Very good job indeed. And in particular for me, Fru, it was a pleasure watching Crimson's play there as he was starting to get pushed. He noticed bottom left, his teammates are getting kills in the opposite corridor. He doesn't need to hold the cover with a shotgun out. He can continue running and hold his Lancer at the very end of the corridor, ensuring there is no way that he will be dying in that scenario. Very well played indeed. Of course, the collapse followed on through, thanks to the numbers advantage maintained in part to that man.
Yep, I totally agree on that one. I think that was very well played indeed. And as we get into this second round, Toby, a quick reminder to those watching, we do have that exclusive viewer banner up ready on that quest tab for you. The online major viewer banner, it's completely exclusive to this major, and it looks damn fine, so go grab that one. As we do continue with Elevate versus Rated R here. Winner's final, isn't it, Toby? Elevate up 1-0. And looking damn strong whilst doing it. You can see here Jack Fex with that flashbang will counter flash by Pains, but Jack able to get himself out here for just a second. Perhaps a wraparound. No, Jack gonna back off a little bit.
Yeah, this is great to witness, honestly. Jack Fex and Pains constantly going head-to-head in these all-important 1v1s. It's marvelous to watch 2 excellent players battle it out cover to cover. But as I say that, here comes Marsh flying in to pick up eliminations. Phelpsy, meanwhile, elsewhere is doing the exact same as he picks up one before meeting his demise. Crimson's is waiting down on the middle point. He's about to get pinched, though. He needs to force a 1v somewhere. Not able to collapse on Pains. Elimination blinking for the moment. But it's not going to come through yet, Fru, as the B Hill is captured for Rated R. It's now their time to play a bit passive.
Yeah, they have to back off. They have to contain Elevate. And I'd like to see Rated R on this map specifically be a little bit further forward. I think this passive sets up, it allows Elevate to kind of make the play they want to play. Do they want to play up top, or do they want to dive straight into that B Hill? And going up top will draw Rated R away. It will pull them back away from this B Hill. And what that does is it allows space for the remaining members of Elevate to maybe make a play on the bottom side as well. If Rated R put too many members into defending this home hill, they're going to pay for it elsewhere on the map. Looks to be, so far, that Rated R, they've dropped to a nice setup here. They've got a couple of players defending the A hill. They've got enough down at this B side to make sure that they can't make this play, this secondary play down bottom. But that down on, was it Dragons there? That's going to be crucial. You can see now, they're trying to make a play. They're trying to force this or Elevate.
Yep. Strikers looking for that push on Hydra. Hydra shuts him down and says no loudly, although Rated R are trying to push against Phelpsy, and Phelpsy just made it so difficult for them. He's rolled all the way back to his spawn, picked up a kill in the process, at least giving Hydra the chance of trying to help him out, but here comes Pains. Great call out, evident from Rated R there as he turns on immediately Hydron's approach. Crimsons and Craze are in a difficult scenario now. They need to push one side or they're about to get put to the graveyard. A pinch comes in droves, and actually Craze will be found as well. Very good job from Pains. So proactive there down that corridor, picking up kills where they needed most.
Rated up. Only 15 seconds away. 10 seconds now. Look to lock in this first one. Jack trying to make the play for his team here. Bit of a misroll, bit of a miskill there as well from Dragons. Does make up for it in the end. And Swarm, they should lock this one in here as they get their first round on the board as well. Tying it up to 1 apiece here. It took a long time and there was a lot of questionable things there going on for Rated R. And one of those questionable things, Toby, is Striker's lives remaining. He was down to 0 for just a second.
My goodness. The aggression perhaps not paying off for them there, statistically. There's, of course, another thing Jack Reaction pointed out in his interview is the lives basis. And he himself said he was struggling coming to terms with the concept, I believe. Or at least his team at times. Now Rated R, in such a difficult matchup, one of the players is already on one respawn left next to his name. Of course, 1-1 though. Rated R did bounce back in that one. And a little bit of a dynamic forming, of course. Rated R a little bit more passive there towards the closing moments of the round. Just as Elevate previously. This is a lot better from them. This is literally a standoff on all sides right now. Who is going to be the first team to throw the utility and try and secure those opening kills and gain their team an advantage? Jackfax believes he could be the man as he throws in the flash. Rated R backing off a little bit on this corridor. Craze has to contain them though. Otherwise the angles could come through as Jackfax picks that cap up. He does do that. Very good job from him, of course. Not an easy task to do that. Such a very difficult room to operate in with so many angles left and center. But already through, he's ran all the way back to the safety of this left corridor. Very good job indeed.
Very good job indeed. If you elevate, you're probably going to get pushed a little bit here. Marsh finds that opening. The flashbang's going to come out, but Slays in on the other side of things, goes down, and Crazy did a good job to back himself up. Should go down here, has to reload, so doesn't have the option to take this kill. And it looks like Rated R going to come out well with this one. Jack goes down. Hydra taking some damage here. Slazin finds that kill as well. This is all good for Rated R. They just can't let the kills come through. There's a trade between Hydra and Pains. Phelpsy, a thorn in Rated R's side as he's backing all the way out to Hollow. Crimson as well gets that kill on Slazin. So what looked to be a good solution, a good situation for Rated R, turned into a very, very tricky one. And they've not been able to get this B cap at all. So all this time this fight's going on, Rated R, they are, you know, I mean, Elevate, sorry, getting closer and closer to this win. That's a great shot by Marsh. Finds that little reaction shot coming around the corner. Good down there on Jackfex. Hydrone trades Marsh out as well. So things going back and forth, and Strickers, as we heard him called on the interview with Marsh. Just go down to that 0 lives. Once again, got to be so careful not to die here.
Speaking of deaths, Phelpsy seems to be immortal right now. Finally, he does get taken out on this corridor. He was constantly, as you said, a thorn in the side of Rated R, forcing players to rotate back around to at least shoot him and keep him at bay. Points-wise, though, Elevate, the early lead, has definitely helped them in perhaps closing moments here, as Crimson's picks up yet again another kill. Very well played indeed. And
that's a huge kill. As we see Strikers going down, that's a 4v5 situation here. Only in round 3, Cog will eliminate Toby. And as we end that round, a little bit of news from the other game. It's gone to a round 9 in that loser bracket.
Oh my.
Regal against 3x, going all the way in that second map. Obviously, Regal were up 1-0, so it's up to 3x Rowdy to clutch it out. Regal have been in that spot once today. They've managed to clutch it out once. We'll get that update to you as soon as that round is over.
But in terms of the winners bracket final, is neck and neck, evidently, as the weapon placement does come on through. Incense going down. This time it's on the Elevate side. Of course, we've usually seen smoke grenades be placed down oftentimes by Elevate in the tournament so far through, unlike much of their opposition. But they've opted for the flashbangs here early on.
Yep.
Perhaps opting, or allowing them to at least, play a little bit more aggressive at times and open those fights up. But Incens, of course, placed down on either side for now.
Yep.
Potentially incentivizing some more aggressive plays. In fact, JackFX is looking for that play immediately.
Ooh,
and
that's beautiful.
Marsh, great, shuts him down, along with his teammate as Craze is caught with his pants down there. And Marsh will help cap up the B hill as well. Phelpsy trying to throw that Incend into the B hill to find one. Unfortunately, he doesn't get that, but somehow Phelpsy has been able to pick up 1 kill against Marsh, putting lots of damage onto Rated R, despite all the soldiers being sent his way.
Yeah, it's just not clean enough, is it? Against Elevate, you can't be allowing the likes of Phelpsy to come out and make these plays in a 1v3 situation. You have to be much, much cleaner. And Dragons, again, what's the point of that push? There is nothing to be gained from that. You put yourself in a very, very risky situation, in a situation where Elevate, they have to push into your crossfire. Back off, play it well, play it smartly, you know, and you'll be in a much better situation. And now with that death, it means that there's no one defending on, you know, on the right-hand side here. The whole of Rated R, they're up in that Hollows corridor, and Crimson's, he's allowed to push up forward. And with that, you know, they're getting a little bit of control again. They're going to start to rotate round, try and pull Rated R out of position here.
Yeah, we touched upon lives earlier through, and now 6 players in this game have a 1 right next to their gamer tags in the heads-up display. And this is the last round of the half, of course, but curious to see if that will influence things here, as Radar built up quite a bit of a score lead, and Crimson's does open things up on the corridor, wide open in fact, as Phelpsy helps down Marsh in the center. Their high drone picking up Pains, and it seems like a sweep of the map across the board from Elevate. Will they step on the throats of their enemies? It certainly seems like that now, going in for this triple cap.
Yeah, you can see them pushing forward a little bit here. I don't think this is entirely about getting that A-hill. I think it's about wasting Rated R's time. They know they're a while away, and you can see actually Swarm, they will win with just a second. It must be so, so close actually. So they do need to get that D-cap. You can see opening kills here. Incendiary's going to come out. Dragons has that to defend here. And Rated R going to defend. Are they going to turtle up here? Try and lock in the second round of the half. I don't know. They've got to be so, so careful, because if they push forward, Dragons and Marsh on those 0 lives. 1 misstep, 1 kill is you know, it's pretty much over for them, isn't it?
We talk about Elevate and being opportunistic. This is exactly those times. They've gained map control, if nothing else, here. And here is the closing fight as Hydron picks up Slazin. JackFX shutting down Pains, and immediately an Incend will stop JackFX in his tracks, in fact, and also block that door to at least some degree. 10 seconds to go, and it all comes down to Phelpsy as he tries to close the gap between him and his opponents. But unfortunately, Elevate will not be able to push that final hill. The Swarm will win in this one as we go 2-2.
Fantastic defense, wasn't it, from Rated R? Toby, I'm going to take us away from this Elevate Rated R game for just a second, just to bring the final closure on that loser bracket game that's going on. It is indeed Regal Reserve punching their way through to that loser bracket round 5. Awaiting the loser of this game here, Elevate versus Rated R. They have clutched it up again. Team Composure. That's what they should be renamed as, because they do it every single time. Round 9s are their situation, and they're looking very, very good for a shot at maybe top 2. Yeah. But they've got to watch the rest of this one, haven't they? You see there on the top left there. Regal win 2-0, 5-2, 5-4. And they get that closure against 3x Rowdy, who knocked him into that loser's bracket in the first place. Very, very nice little story kind of wrapping up there, isn't it?
Yeah, Regal reigning supreme. It's a storyline of professional teams now in Championship Sunday, as they're all showing up, it seems. To take us away from gameplay for a moment, I saw a poll on live.gearsofwar.com, and in fact, the viewers vote 83% the way of Elevate in terms of who they think will win this map through. That's a very convincing number, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, after that first map, I'm not surprised that people are voting that way. I wouldn't count Rated R out just yet. We've seen them do it again. Actually, the time that Rated R beat Elevate in the Pro League, actually, back in March, they did lose that bunker map first time. It was indeed bunker they lost in that 2-1 series, and then they came back. And Elevate, they lost 5-4 on the second map, and you know, it's shaping up that way again. And the final map went all Rated R's way, so I would not count Rated R out by any stretch right now. This is a situation like Obey. They like to thrive when everything is on the line.
Well, I share that opinion as well, Fruit. Rated R have been doing a good job in Exhibit thus far. Neck and neck at 2-2. Elevate again, managing to cap up the E-Hill before Rated R can really spring into their action and get into those important shotgun battles that they really do rely on at this moment in time on Exhibit, it seems. Incend being thrown in, they'll pick up Dragons, and it'll force Marsh out of cover, allowing him to be lanced out by Craze as he sweeps in for the kill. And immediately, Elevate starts getting back into the E-Hill. Incend, of course, is going to shut down Craze for now. Of course, the cap will still come through. Phelpsy, again, able to pick up a kill each time, it seems, as he goes into the enemy's third through. And despite his death, he always seems to be making that impact at the very least.
Yep, he makes a hell of an impact. And he's been a fantastic player all through the Pro League. As has that man, Pains, taking out Jackfex. A nice kill there. Cog will win in 40 seconds, but with that break and with this cap, it should go the way of Rated R. It's going to be a long time though yet. 50 seconds on the clock for Rated R as now they go into defensive mode. They can't let Elevate get anywhere near this.
Yeah. Hydrum just lurking there from the Overwatch to potentially lancer out some Rated R players as they move into position for this down bottom offensive. Strikers, of course. It's going to rotate those new Incends down to that left-hand corridor from our point of view. And in fact, he comes back to the middle. Sure, he'll be raring to jump over that wall, mantle into the fight. Jackfex with an Incend, just seeing if he can just throw one in. Strikers throws an Incend, so of course going to be tactical in nature. Only damage points being picked up for him as Marsh finds Crazed elsewhere. And right now, Hydron has moved on to the enemy's home hill. He's really piling on the pressure on the Rated R players. They really don't know which way to look. Hydron finally being taken out by Pain, so at least they can move on from their home hill potentially. But Elevate, they have numbers on the center hill. Marsh will be found out. Crimson's turns Rated R's way rather, as Strikers does make that play in the center. And it all comes down to this. Rated R, 3 seconds to go, and unfortunately for Elevate, they won't be able to cap up in time. Rated R sneak that round under the noses of Elevate.
That's it, isn't it? They looked very good. I mean, it was all about Strikers at the end there. 1v3 situation. He got that kill. He got a toe in the ring, and that just delayed that cap on that neutral for so long. And that really was a very, very good round by Rated R. And as I said, don't count them out yet. They picked this map for a reason, and that's because they're comfortable on it. They like this scrappy fight downstairs. They like everyone in one place. And they thrive in those kind of situations, don't they? You can see now what's going to get placed down. We've got pistols going down on both sides of things. This map is one that never really seems to get that explosive, does it? We don't really see those booms or drops going down anymore. It's all about these grenades, forcing people out of covers.
I mean, to me, honestly, I feel like that speaks to the confidence of the players that do compete on this map. They really do feel as though, hey, just let me get in there, coach. Let me just get into another shotgun battle down the corridor. I will win my 1v. Watch this space. And so I guess they always vote against a potential weapon to up the ante, and instead they want to keep it back to basics, as they really do believe in their capabilities.
They do. This is why Hydron coming through, finds that headshot on Strikers. Marsh should be able to lock in this E-Hill for just a second here as those incendiaries get used. Down on that Aqua side. Marsh going to back out a little bit. Trying to find some control here. Got to be worrisome, though, about those players of Elevate coming off spawn. You can see him hiding out, and this is a bit of a Marsh special, to be honest with you. He often finds himself in this kind of situation, trying to catch a player off guard. In that side, though, Crazed, too smart, knows to check his corners.
Yep.
Look at all those downs. It's all Elevate's way, isn't it?
It just seems like they collapse. Here comes one player from the flank. Can he make a difference? No. Again, Crimson's turns in his flank. The communications from Elevate are clear. I've seen that time and time again now. An Elevate player, he gets the call out, he turns around and sees a Rated R player flank. Oftentimes, Rated R thrive on those scenarios, right? But right now, it has not paid off for them. The domination's going to start blinking. 3 seconds to go. Rated R, they have spawns. They have the ability to get back into this as Slazin finds a double. Crimson's left in the corner, and Phelpsy will be dropped as well. In fact, no. Again, still alive. The survivalist, you could argue, for Elevate, but eventually he will get dropped. And Rated R hold on to a very difficult round that could have potentially been.
Yes, yeah, 100%. They're a scrappy team. They often come back from the dead, and that's one of the things that actually Elevate themselves have said that they really don't like about Rated R is how many times they look to be in a fantastic situation, then off spawn, Rated R find the kills, and they're so quick back to that spawn, back to that home hill ring. Sorry, they look so good. And it is difficult to play against teams like this. And yeah, Payne's been sneaky here, isn't he? There goes the flashbang. I'm not quite sure that was the best play there, but
perhaps getting a little bit ahead of himself.
Yeah, and it means Elevate waste their flash trying to get around into this corridor as well. So one less flash to deal with as they go for the retake. That's not a terrible thing.
Well, Elevate pushing up quite aggressively on one side. Crimson's fancies himself in this 1v. The flash not going to be effective there as Crimson says no, shutting him down at range. Incend does come into the mix though, as Strikers finds Phelpsy, evening the odds up just a little bit. Elevate nonetheless able to break the E-hill. 35 seconds if things stay the same, as Rated R only need one hill to win, but the question is, can the capture come through on the middle hill? And another question, will it make a difference? Hydron already posturing for a potential push at the end.
Yep, Elevate, they have to break the Rated R home hill. The E-hill is not enough. It will not be enough at all, and Elevate, I don't even think they're making the move. They're waiting right to the last second to make this push here. And you can see now they're pushing up, trying to get that down on Paynes. Paynes will be the play here as the incends come through. Hydron's going to chase on him, but Paynes replies, gets the kill on Hydron. Jack's going to go down here, and it looks like Rated R, once again, right on the line, will defend their home hill. And they will go up 4-2, the scoreline now. Rated R just one round away from tying this up, Toby. And another fantastic defense from them. They're so good at defending that home hill.
And again, through two very close rounds, we are witnessing go by, and it's gone Rated R's way both times. It literally could be the opposite scoreline right now for me, because they were just so close to call until the closing moments. It always seems like it comes down to that final team fight at the end there for a home hill.
Yeah.
As it stands, of course, I mean, Elevate, they're one map up. Rated R, one round away from finishing this one. I think we could potentially be seeing a map number 3 here, Alex.
I think this series deserves a map number 3, Toby.
Absolutely.
It's gone all the way every time these teams have matched up, and I think a 2-0 at this point would be a pretty dull series in comparison to what we've seen before between these guys. You know, a last rounder on that map 3 would be something special, and I don't think we've been there just yet. But what we have been is to that map 3 every single time these teams do match up. And it happened like this last time, didn't it? The last time Rated R won. Elevate won that first map, and Rated R, they came up clutch and stole that second map. It looks to be a similar scoreline this time around. We've got to look at those lives, so let's have a quick look. Quick spot check on that. Craze down on 1. Strikers down on 1 as well.
Yep.
Paynes has 2 left, and this shouldn't be too bad. As long as they can get this cleaned up soon, Rated R, they have enough lives to do this with. They just got to make sure it's Marsh, it's Slays and Dragons, that those first ones in. Likewise, on the other side of things, Elevate looking pretty healthy here. It's only Craze that's in a bad spot. And Phelpsy, for all his adventures over into the other team's half, still has 3.
And cast your eyes to the top right, folks. Look how little movement there has been so far this round. Again, Jackfax, though, is the one to open things up just a little bit. Phelpsy behind him with that 1 incend. And all it takes is 1 kill for either of the teams to go off and get map control and really start stacking up some points.
You saw exactly how quick all of those flashbangs just kind of went down. And everyone kind of just like went, huh, right, okay, are we going to go? No. Flashbang's going to go down. Sedate it all. Incend's going to come out here. They are thrown well wide there by Phelpsy. And that's not going to connect anyone, and that's advantage Rated R here as Elevate. They had to back off a little bit. They do lose 1 member as well in Hydron. Hydron with those 4 lives, absolutely fine, but it means Elevate can't really do too much for the next few seconds. Incendiary on the Rated R side wasted as well here, so grenades not really coming into play, but Jack will fall, and Phelpsy can't back him up here.
And there you have it. E-hill captured, of course. And for me, that was an excellent showcase of teamwork from Rated R there. They stacked one side, pushed very quickly, and even Elevate didn't seem to respond quickly enough there. Later, of course, throwing an incend, which will not connect, and leaving them with little options now. Here we go back into the next phase of play, potentially, as Elevate do take control on one side. Of course, Slazen returning to the safety of his center up top. Angle down to the hill, but here is a kill actually coming from Jackfax. Make that a second as Phelpsy finds 1. Paynes does respond in kind with an incend kill this time, but Marsh flanks Hydron. Hydron will fall up top, and potentially that could be very damaging now as he starts moving across the top end side.
Yep.
JackFac's able to cap up, though.
The problem they're going to have here is these respawn timers. You can see Marshy hasn't actually pushed all the way down. He's sitting on that little semicircle spot up top. Crimson's finding Strikers as well. Will mean that Strikers is completely out of this round. We're in a 4v5 situation, and I said those lives are going to come into play. We said the only thing they've got to make sure is that Strikers plays it safe. He hasn't. He's taken himself out. Swarm will win in 30 seconds. They've got to find that defense once again. But this time around, it's in a 4v5 situation. They have those incendiaries to play with. A cheeky kill here or there by Rated R is really what they need here. And Phelps gets killed by the lasers. How has that happened?
That can't happen. It's going to be a 4v4 for the round, potentially. Slazen is going to find JackFac's Dragons, will take down Hydron. And again, it seems like Rated R are able to hold on to their home hill. And oh my, after we were talking to the consistency of Phelpsy, he dies to lasers up top. And I think due to the nature of that last closing moment there through, I think he was trying to be a little bit too quickly.
Yeah.
Perhaps tripping up on a shoelace or something up top there as he tries to scamper to the enemy's home hill. He will be kicking himself for that one. But nonetheless, of course, a very good hold from Rated R and a very good map at that 5-2 the scoreline, as they have a very strong map this time round going into map number 3.
Yeah, it really was a strong map, wasn't it? And I think, you know, for all of the lasers coming into play at the end there, Rated R, they had a solid defense anyway. They found the kills, the incendiaries were good, they blocked out that opening route again, and realistically, I think they had that either way. So well played to Rated R, defending that home hill 4v5 against, you know, potentially the best team in Europe in Elevate. And yeah, as you said, Toby, map 3, we said we wanted it, we've got it. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be very hype. I've been on the edge of my seat this whole time, but it also has been a very tactical match so far, hasn't it, Alex? It's been a pleasure casting with you and, of course, breaking down the amazing plays that we see from these two teams. But It has been very technical, hasn't it? Both teams have really tested each other's nerves. The composure has been evident from both sides, of course. And some star players have come out, but no one really clutching up massively. I feel as though it's been a very big team effort on both sides, and both players, both sides, really testing each other in every portion of every map, and really having a mix of passion, passiveness, and aggression.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I haven't seen really any fantastic plays from any specific player, but there has been very good individual plays. There has been very, very good team plays as well. I think that's been quite evident. The scoreline being 5-2 shows me, on one side of things, Rated R have been a very, very strong team, and they've obviously kept Elevate at bay. And that's something that we don't see often enough. And I think with that victory, we can safely say that Rated R are the best team on exhibit right now in terms of the European teams, at least. And that title will be stolen away from Elevate a little bit. But it's not over yet, is it, Toby? I mean, we're going to go into a different map here. We're going to go forward away from exhibit, and we've got a whole different kind of kettle of fish to worry about coming up.
That we do, and of course, it's a very fitting way we're perhaps concluding this winners bracket final. Both teams now have lost the first map of their whole tournament, of course, dropping the map against who else? Their rival, if you will. And it's a very good rival between these two teams, of course. A head-to-head matchup that we really did predict coming in to Championship Sunday. And of course, with this last map, I'm wondering who to actually put my money on now. I mean, we saw an 83% vote for Elevate on Exhibit. Of course, I'm sure the viewers at home were surprised, perhaps, with the result there on the end of Exhibit. And there were two very strong maps, weren't they? A 5-1, then a 5-2 going the other way. I mean, what can we expect going into this last one?
It's a very difficult one, isn't it? I mean, it's one of those where, do we see Elevate kind of come back and resurge? I think we might. I think that's where I'd be putting my money. District against these two teams, Elevate, they've been the one to win it. 100% win record on that map in the in the Pro League, and they've looked very, very good whilst playing it. As I said, it's not one we'd attribute to Elevate really, but they look good when they do play it. And I think for Rated R here, although yes, they did look good. Every time they kind of won one of those last 3 rounds, they were on their home hill, weren't they? They were really having to defend against all odds. And I don't think you get that easy defense as much on District, to be honest with you, in comparison. I think it's a lot more about playing the map. It's a lot about, kind of setting up and not allowing teams to really make the most of their rotations. And Elevate, fantastic team, aren't they, at those rotations themselves? Will always be putting the pressure on multiple hills at the same time. Can Rated R deal with that? That's up to their individual skill, in my opinion. They got to find the openings. They got to get something out of it early on in the round.
Speaking of openings, of course, Pains has been heralded as one of the top players in Europe, a rising star for sure, as he's cemented himself as one of the best, as we said, front spawns potentially in Europe. Marsh believing him to be the best. District is a map where I feel as though he is ultra aggressive if given the opportunity. He runs from blue to green and vice versa at the start of every round, seemingly. But I don't feel as though Elevate will allow him to do that in this game. And that's going to be a big change-up for Rated R, potentially, against Elevate compared to your other Pro League teams.
Yeah, I don't think they will. You know, we say that. We don't want him to do that. No one wants him to do that, right? And everyone's going to try and stop Pains from running about and getting kills left, right, and center. But the problem you get with that is if you put one person on him and that person loses, you start to think, okay, now we'll put two people on him. That leaves another member of Rated R free. Yeah. And that's equally as bad because every member of Rated R, yes, they might not be the front spawn, but every member of Rated R can slay at Pains level. That's just a fact, right? It's Pains, yes, he might be the front spawn because he's very good at that position, but no one's saying that the rest of the members of Rated R can't slay at his level. They're just saying they're not as good in that position at slaying. It's more positional than it is about the actual competency of the player. So letting someone else from Rated R go free is just not an option. You have to match them. And in close quarter situations like Exhibit, we've just seen Rated R, they walk out on top more times than not.
I'm curious now, Alex, as we go into this final map. Do you think Rated R are going to come out on top here, or do you think Elevate will be able to contain them as they did on Bunker? Who do you think is going to come out on top here?
I honestly think that Elevate will take this one.
Okay.
I have to side with Elevate on a couple of points. They won it last time they came up. It was a 5-3. Yeah, it was close, but they did win it. And they just look stronger at the maps where you can really kind of set up a hold, and it's not about that, basically one fight right in the middle. It's about how do we play around the map? We've seen it, with the Obey and Regal game. There was a lot of kind of juking teams out and trying to force movement, and Elevate, they're the best in the game at that right now. So I kind of feel like it will go Elevate's way. They just can't let those opening fights get too Rated R heavy.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I feel like a lot of matches do go the way of Rated R because of how easily they can abuse their shotguns, right? It comes back to that stylistic play of Rated R. And I feel like Exhibit is perhaps a map that can be easier to do that on, and you can lean into triple caps more often. But District, I've said it time and time again, it's a deceptively setup heavy map. The angles you can get from one end of the map to the other across the whole horizontal plane of the map is significant, right? Even green and blue, you can get access to that off spawn, and immediately upon taking cover, you have an angle to your left, in front, and to the right. On District, right? Down to Cinema, down to Bandstand. And I feel as though that really does play into Elevate more so, right? Because of the angles that can be achieved. The Lancer can be much more actively used, much like Bunker in that scenario. And so I guess for me as well, I am going to lean Elevate's way. But Rated R did have a very strong Exhibit. Exhibit is a strong map. There were some fairly close rounds, but I feel like Elevate edges this one for those reasons.
Yeah. I would totally agree, and honestly, I think it. We can chat about it, right? And we can argue back and forth between these two teams all day long because they're so close. And I think that's the one thing to take away from this really is that at this point, it's not a best of three, is it? It's a best of one, and it's whoever's going to turn up in each round. One opening kill, one misstep. We saw it in the Obey game. One missed drop shot could mean the end of a winners bracket run here for one of these two teams, and it really is that kind of specific. It's about the small mistakes. I've been banging on about it all weekend long. I'm sure people are sick of hearing it, but it is about those those tiny mistakes. One forced error could be the end of an entire tournament run here or a winners bracket run specifically for one of these teams, and it's about the team that goes more flawless, more is cleaner across the board. That's kind of how I see it going. Well, as you can see on your screen, folks, the first map went Elevate's way 5-1. Exhibit went the other way. Rated R taking that one 5-2 as District does load up. It's difficult to call, certainly. I mean, the casters are leaning towards Elevate for this final map of a winners bracket final. Do let us know in the Twitch chat
What are you thinking? Are you still going Elevate's way after Rated R perhaps shocked many players and fans on Exhibit? We're loading up the final map through. And as I said, we believe Elevate do have the advantage on this map, but I would not be surprised if this goes the whole distance to a round number 9. And Rated R can pull something out of the bag. Starting off with Pains, as he is immediately up-aid, in fact, by Phelpsy. Yep. Great utility usage there from Elevate.
Yep, yeah, 100%. Guess his second on Dragons as well. And this is something that I was, I completely forgot about, to be honest with you, until I saw Phelpsy running towards that mid route. He was a danger on this map last time he played it. He really was running things from that mid route. And it looks like he started that way again here, but Elevate, they are all the way over on that A hill. And Marsh having to run for his life here. Trying to defend. He's going to get taken out for sure here. He's in a very, very bad spot. Caught himself out between a couple of people. Dragons does find that return kill, though, and will find that decap in just a second. If he can dodge enough Lancer fire, he will be able to indeed. There are 2 members of Rated R up on that B hill. Dragons goes down in the end. Will get revived. I don't think they've got the possibility here, really, to get this B cap in. So it's all going to be about the rotations.
Yep. Well, the initial is over, of course. Elevate did a fantastic job of that. The reward is about 40 points extra. Closing in on 50 now. There's no hill still capped up by the COG side. And in fact, Elevate are stacking very hard onto A. They're really committing to this one, Alex. 3 players finding Marsh there. Angles coming in thick and fast from Green Room. And Pains is close, ready to make plays if necessary. Although, I say that, Strikers does go down behind him. Elevate know exactly where that player is. They bounce wide, getting a lot of damage, forcing Pains back to the safety of his spawn for now. But Elevate right now, they're playing textbook District, rotating around, avoiding shotgun battles when necessary, and really leveraging that initial advantage.
They are, and they have grown such a huge point lead because of it. You can see here, 120-20. That's the scoreline we don't usually see between these 2 teams. That's for sure. Pains doing that rotation now with his teammate Dragons. Trying to put a bit of pressure on here, and they have got control of that neutral, which is a good situation, but Pains will go down, and you can see now, team's starting to trade out. Mainly red, that kill feed. As we can see here, they do find the cleanup on Jackfex. Rated R trying to even this one up a little bit here. Going for that decap attempt. Will just be a decapped and then a jump out again as Slazin's going to back off. Doesn't want to go down there. Can't afford to give his life at this point in the tournament. Has to be so careful. And if we do look at those lives already, Dragons and Marsh and Strikers and Pains all down to 2 lives remaining, Toby. This is the first round in the game.
Yeah, well, I spoke about leveraging. It happens to be affecting the live situation of Rated R2 before even the first round is complete. Crimson's and his partner to his left in Hydrone. Taking back a little bit of map control here by finding the angle through Bandstand. Of course, that is the angle we were referring to before the start of the map. Horizontal across District. Will he Lancer? Strikers finding Jackfex though, meanwhile, and Phelpsy and Hydrone answering back. Keeping Rated R's spawn staggered and allowing them to really see this score lead out. Rated R, though, they have done a good job here, Alex, of getting a lot of those points back. It's within reaching distance, potentially, but the score limit is, of course, 250.
Yep.
Rated R actually taking the win condition now with 2.
Yeah, I mean, they've took the win condition. They fought back so well here, haven't they? And you can see Rated R. They are pushing on to this A-hill like nothing else out of nowhere.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Oh my.
Absolutely incredible.
Just like a flash in front of our eyes through, somehow Rated R have pulled it out of the bag, and I'm sure Elevate will be kicking themselves for that. They really started off strong, didn't they?
They did indeed, and I think Elevate, they need a little bit of a boost here, and perhaps they get that boost by locking in their skins. Of course, we do have those Elevate skins, Toby. Look at those, beautiful. Support Elevate skins are available in-game now. They're looking mighty fine, as with those Obey Line skins as well. European Gears does appreciate all the support they get, and of course, buying the skins does support the region.
Well, Swarm is my favorite faction, and as such, I will be picking up Elevate skins for sure, given the red color. And they are one of my favorites, Rue. I will be picking them up, I guarantee you that, after the broadcast. Didn't have time yesterday, of course. I was all worn out after the action and energy. I had to prepare myself for today, because clearly these teams are going to put on a show for us, as they already have. on Championship Sunday.
That's it, and that's not the only thing you can get your hands on, Toby. We do have an Astro t-shirt giveaway as well in that quest tab, so you know, if you've already bought your Elevate skins and you want to look even better, head over to that quest tab and submit your entry there. Get a chance to win a very, very nice Astro t-shirt, actually. Very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, well, in terms of gameplay, it's almost like deja vu here from Exhibit. Elevate, take position. A little bit of map control down Bandstand. They're starting to open up things. They're looking for Striker stuck in that corner. Backing his way. But JackFX shuts him down. It's going to open things up just a little bit as Marsh does get it down back himself. But the Elevate numbers a little bit too strong here. Phelpsy trying to keep close to the wall to prevent angles coming in too hard on the blue room, or from the blue room. But you know what? A kill does come on through, and the pressure is forced back onto Rated R. Domination blinking for the time being. Striker seems to be handling that quite well, though, as he picks up one. Phelpsy the last one remaining. But here comes the flank, in fact. Elevate really trying to crush their throats. Rated R's throats, that is. As, whoa, what a lovely flank from Crimson's out of nowhere, too. Big shotgun fight. There we go. Pains will fall. But an overextension coming in to break the A-hill for now. It's Striker's the man who's done that job.
Yep, he's doing the job on one side. Crimson's, though, doing the other job on the other. Swarm will win in just 5 seconds. Elevate looking to steal this one. I think they will have locked it in. A fantastic, fantastic play there by Slazin. Does delay it for just a second. No one else, though, from Rated R available in range to stop this one ticking through. Elevate, they do take that second round, and that was a better round from them.
It certainly was better, as they were able to close out and take use of those opportunities, and a very nice pinch through the middle there on the enemy's home hill. Placement-wise, it will be utility. Again, for Phelpsy, we won't be seeing any bowl talks here on that side.
Yep.
Nor Rated R. Not too surprised, actually, about that, Fru. They just want to keep it simple and show all the respect in the world for the potential aggression that can be shown by their opponents, but also give them a little bit more tools to work with when they do start opening things up after a little bit of passiveness at the start. Doesn't seem to be the case in this round, though.
Now Crimson's finding that down early on Strikers. Strikers is going to die out as well, so this is a good start from Elevate in this round. You can see they get the cleanup there on Pains as well, and Dragons can't really do anything about it. Just trying to keep them out of green for the time being, but you can see here, pushing forward. Elevate really are trying to push the pressure here on Rated R. Dragons has a bit of support there in Slazin, though, and that's good for him. Probably the wrong weapon for the job there, as he just try and get a bit of damage on Elevate as they recoil out of juice. Things just going to slow down a little bit now, as you can see on the cinema side, actually. Rated R, they're pushing forward a little bit. Dragon's going to go over to support this and just trying to keep Crazed's head down. Crazed in obviously in very good position in that info room to help to prevent this push on the B hill and try and down anyone who goes for that decap.
And you know, Fru, I feel as though Elevate just keep edging their way in these initials. They seem to be the better team at handling such a difficult head-to-head. They vary up their aggression, their speed of play. And they're always able to get the cover advantage, it seems. We saw it on Bunker. Exhibit a number of times JackFX was able to cap up the B hill. And here, they're capturing bandstand control a number of times, and even pushing into the enemy's green or blue room, given the opportunity.
Yeah, but look at that by Slade. Did you see the positioning? That was millimeter perfect. Yes, they're losing the A hill, but on the other side of things, a sweet miracle for Rated R as they lock in that B hill cap. That was something else. And that's a team that, you know, they've obviously gone into the maps and realized, okay, this is the angle that you can get from here, and this is where I can sit to prevent that. Double kill coming out, though, for JackFX, trying to find his third. Marsh shuts him down, but that should be enough here to start the Elevate push, as they are going to have to back off here. The decap is still in play here for Elevate. Rated R were not able to capture that one, and Slazin is going to fall as well on the other side, so this will be a pinch. You can see Marsh getting shot in the back here. Doesn't have a teammate in tow to really help him out. Will get cleaned up. Striker's going to die as well, and Crazed pushing through juice. This should be an Elevate round.
Absolutely lovely from Elevate there. They pinch through the center, and they throw a number of players over at the enemy's home hill. As soon as the numbers start getting whittled down, of Rated R. In terms of spawns, Rated R aren't too bad of a situation here, as they've started going back and forth in the slaying department versus their opposition. But weapon placements. I'm still curious as we go into the last round of the half. Anything going to be changed up drastically? In fact, neither team is going to go for anything big, and in fact, we're having smoke grenades placed down bottom here through. And of course, it's been a very difficult area to play in for Rated R, as Elevate seem to be just edging their way, and I wonder, will smokes help them be a bit more mobile down here?
Potentially so. Potentially so. I think they're all just trying to prepare for whatever could be coming later, right? Potentially a drop shot placement down in this bandstand. We will see, though. Jack just get pushed out here. Pains finds that opening kill, and this is a good start to the round for Rated R. If you're just joining us, this is the winners bracket final, not the grand final. We've still got a couple of games to come. Regal Reserve are awaiting the loser of this map specifically. Rated R and Elevate into this map 3. We've had two very, very good games in this series so far. Each going 5-2 their respective ways, and now teams, they try and break it apart, don't they, on this final map here on District. Great headshot by Strikers. He's going to claim Juice as well for his reward.
This is better from Rated R, it's safe to say. As now they take control of the green room. And they start to stamp their mark on District, but look at the players stacking up for Elevate. I see a push coming. And it's going to be an aggressive one. 4 players, in fact, in this green room. As Hydrone is preparing to throw the flash. A flash thrown back to stun their opponents, and well played from Strikers there. Immediately Elevate do reset and rethink how they approach this.
They have to, don't they? They're getting met with shotguns aplenty here as Rated R. They have half of Juice, Elevate have the other half, and neither team really want to give it up. They know how strong this particular location are, and it's about, you know, the rest of the members, isn't it, really? Where do they make the move? And you can see it is Rated R. They're going to win the standoff, but Elevate, they're going to win the cinema control here as Crimson's has pushed right on up here onto this red carpet. And in just a second, they'll probably try and get this decap attempt out, but they've got to be wary because there is Pains up in that building, and there is a member of Rated R to their right-hand side. It is Slazin, actually, putting damage down on the other side of things. There seems to be a push going on the bottom side of things, though, here over at the Sea Hill. Elevate, they found a lock-in. Swarm, they will win in 75 seconds. It's just a second on time, so 1 decap attempt is needed here for Rated R to win it on 1 hill. Those downs going to come through. They're fantastic, aren't they?
This is excellent to see.
Trading hills. Yep,
honestly,
yep,
amazing break of the setup from Elevate to push the enemy's home help and force them out of green, at least for now, and then Elevate respond by flipping back towards the safety of their side of the map and getting control of B. This is actually a very good push building up for Elevate now as they pick up kills. Pains does shut down Jackfax, though, and that will slow down things for now. Although I say that, Pains isn't actually able to escape. Marsh is going to be the last man potentially to save this round. Hydrone will pick up yet again another kill. And that will be it. Elevate. Excellent play, and that's 3 rounds in a row now through. As it just seemed as though Rated R had a very good setup, but Elevate were able to rotate round and fantastically break them down.
It really was well played by Elevate, and the problem Rated R are having is that they're giving up their home hill too easy. They're not really fighting it out, and they need someone in that info room to really be putting the pressure on anyone from Elevate rotating round. The problem is that they're having to look over to that cinema side at the same time, and they don't have enough people to deal with it. This drop shot placement, that's going to tend to that a little bit, because they're going to have to force Elevate to really put all their resources top end of the map. And as we go into the second half, those lives are back up. We do see, you know, all the grenades in the map, the flashbangs, the utility coming out of those loadout options really have just been building to this point. We kind of talked about it a little bit before. Now it's here. Drop shots down. This is a Rated R fight that they want to take. They're usually pretty good at it.
No doubt about that. It's all come down to this cinema fight as Rated R do start off strong as the kill feed lights up in blue. A drop shot pickup will probably come in on soon. In fact, it's guaranteed as Crazed is the last man to fall. Phelpsy, he's tried his usual flank, lovely, but that's not going to pay off. And it is lovely, isn't it? Rated R, they get up close and personal in that fight when necessary, but they're careful not to lose any lives in the process. As Crimson's, it's down to him to try and end things. The drop shot a little bit too premature there, as the Incend will not connect either, but you feel as though this could be it, as Crimson's will be dropped there. And that was lovely from Rated R as they respond in good fashion.
Yeah. You said that the drop shot was a little bit premature, but I think the idea was fantastic. You know, run out, bait out, and he turned and ran backwards exactly at the same time as that drop shot came flying over his head. The timing was perfect. The drop shot placement Not quite, and we've seen many suspect drop shots on District. It's a difficult map to play with this weapon on. There's so many high structures, so many kind of small windows to kind of feed it through that, yes, of course, you're bound to bounce it off something at time or kind of misstep. In the end, though, Rated R, they pull that round out the bag. They look pretty good with it. They'll be continuing this fight.
Well, it's all about the drop shot, you feel as though. As JackFX is the man with the flash in hand. As his partner, Phelpsy, in this one, he's immediately upping into that fight. No care in the world for Rated R as he's looking to be aggressive as possible, but Rated R are just putting on a show right now in the cinema as they pick up the drop shot, they pick up the kills, and they immediately start overextending to the enemy's home hill. In fact, an elimination comes on through mid-sentence. Somehow, in less than 30 seconds, Rated R are able to balance this one out.
Yeah, I mean, it literally was in less than a minute. And they've gone from 3-1 down with the placement of one weapon. We do see Elevate lose that lead very, very quickly. Shock's going to go down, and I kind of feel like if you're Elevate at this point, maybe start building up that bottom side. Find yourself a boom shot or something, and you know, you've got your Incens over there. Elevate should, you know, pretty much be guaranteed to win that fight down the bottom side. Instead, they're going to try this 50-50 again. And I'm not sure it's the best play to be making, to be honest with you, after you've just lost it twice in a row. But Elevate, if nothing, they're stubborn, and they're going to try and get some kills out here, but the flashbangs are beautiful. Shot grenade is so as well. Striker's going to fall here, and Elevate will walk out with that drop shot here. Great turnaround coming through from JackFX. Finding that kills on Martian. This should be a very, very clean fight here for Elevate. Martian Dragons, they both fall, and Elevate, they're looking to get themselves just one round closer to punching their way through to that grand final. Domination ticking here. 4 seconds on the clock. Can Slazen do anything about it? I'm not sure he can. The domination is denied by Strikers. I was looking the wrong way, but it is a 3v1 situation. Doing his best here, trying to just be tricky. Has got himself out for a second, and that might delay just enough for his team to come off the spawn. You've got a few seconds to get yourself in here, Dragons. You've not done it just in time. Marsh now with that flashbang does get the touch once again, but the lives, you've got to think about the lives here for Rated R. They're going to concede. Elevate will clutch up, and they will get themselves just one round away, Toby. One round away.
What a performance from both of these two teams. They are so neck and neck now in the cinema fight, it seems, as Elevate get the strong positional advantage there as they pick up the drop shot. JackFX, of course, flanks all the way through, and it leads to yet again another triple cap here.
Yep.
I'm feeling around 9 here for I will not lie to you, my friend. Drop shot, of course, disabled. Why Elevate there? We still have those shocks as well. And with the E-Hill now being the, of course, the opposite side of the map, I feel as though we're going to see a little bit more passiveness on that end of the map here through. And they might actually lean to Elevate a little bit, thanks to their success so far at the bandstand.
Yep, yeah, they're definitely the better team down that side, haven't they? I mean, it's pretty much back to basics. 2 down the middle, 2 down the bottom, and Jack going full red. Will be able to support his teammate here, but does go down. Dragon's finding that down. Craze should be able to get the revive, but the flashbangs are good. They are solid for Rated R as they try and clean up this kill. They do find that on JackFX. They found that down on Phelpsy as well, and you can see this is Rated R. Full steam ahead as they're trying to get the kill on Crazed as that third option here. Crazed, though, clutching up. Is he able to get the kill? No. Headshot coming out here, but has he done enough to delay? I think he might have. You can see there's no one really for Rated R over at this D-Hill. They're not really in a position to get the double cap down. That shot grenade blocking them entirely. They're going to have to back off a little bit here and play the long con.
Well, Elevate right now are pinned in their spawn. That shot grenade bought them time, and Rated R rethinking their positions and setting up elsewhere. As Crimson's has already stretched his legs on the cinema side of the map. Pains and Dragons retiring to the blue room. This is better from Rated R. I do like that they pulled back here, honestly, Alex. They had them pinned, yes, but District can be a very difficult map to contain a team with the likes of Elevate. And they have a bit of a score lead building as well.
That's it, isn't it? That's what it's about. Forcing Elevate to make the plays, but they're the one team that you don't want against you if they've got to make a play within a time limit. Smoke grenade's going to come out from Marsh there. Things just settling down as we go into this mid-section. This is where the teams They're starting to inch forward, aren't they? Hydrone, you can see him all the way over in this bandstand. You can see on the other side of things, they've got control of Cinema as well. And Rated R, they really are in a bad situation here, but the good Lancer Fire comes in, and this is a nice setup from Rated R as they get that kill on Crazed. Pains is just getting a lot of damage down from this window. He's going to rotate here, and given that he was being shot in the back, Elevate will know this rotation's coming. Good kill there by Martian. This looks to be it, doesn't it, for Rated R? They look to be putting on the pressure here. 63 seconds before they will win, but that will half to 30 as this E-Hill gets locked in. Strikers with a kill here. Dragons with a flash will start to push this 1v1, and I like this play from Dragons. He is going all steam ahead. Trying to find anything, any one kill he can get.
Yeah, they don't need to be too eager, though, Rated R, in any of these fights, as they do have 10 seconds remaining to win through score and force round number 9. 5 seconds to go, and Elevate are nowhere near breaking even a single hell. It's so fitting, isn't it? Coming down to this one single round. Map number 3, winners bracket final, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, we said we wanted it. We said we wanted it. Really, really fantastic. And talking of want, you know, that with a Nasher. If you do want that one, make sure to tune in, obviously, for the rest of today's broadcast, and of course that NA and LATAM broadcast. You have to watch both of them and check in at both of them to get your hands on that Wyvern Nasher. Back to the game, though, Toby. DROPSHOT's back up. Incendiaries are here to play for. Where are we going with this one? It's got to be up towards that Cinema, hasn't it? And you think with Rated R winning 2 out of those 3 opportunities up there, they're probably the favourites to take this one, but I don't know where it's going to go. Someone flip the coin.
Honestly, this is just too close to call. As we get back into the fight with Phelpsy on our screen, and shot grenades will surely play a part in this one. Both players bouncing around each other. The shot grenade coming on through, though, as 2 downs do come up, as the blue kill feed starts lighting up. The drop shot picked up, and all of a sudden, Rated R take advantage. Jackfex shuts Dragons down. Strikers will fall as well. Marsh getting the flank just to even the odds up for a little bit. Who's going to go huge in this moment? He is. He's going to get pinched soon. So is Marsh, though. And Marsh will be the first one to get down. I believe that's DROPSHOT gone, Alex.
Yep. Yeah. DROPSHOT's gone off the map, and Jack just saved his teammate's life there. A double kill. Baited Marsh in as well. A triple kill for Jackfex in a round 9. We call him Mr. Composure, and that is exactly why. He comes through almost flawless there, and Elevate now. They're in this one. They've got that cap in the middle. You can see Rated R. They're trying to decap it, but those Incendiaries making it oh so difficult, and the setup for Elevate is strong. They've got people up top. They've got people down bottom. And this is a good break from Rated R coming through, stopping that bleed of points early on. Lives are probably not going to come into play in this one, Toby. We've got 3 across the board for everyone. Crazy, the only person with lower lives than that.
Yeah. It all comes down to this. As things do slow down for the time being. Of course, Rated R with 2 hills under their belt, and map control, many would argue. Although Craze is going to see if he can find Marsh there as he starts rotating out of Cinema. Although Paints, speaking of the blue and green rooms, he comes flanking round, picking up 1 and trying to hold off the enemy players from blue. In fact, they're getting aggressive here through. Payne's looking to see if he can chase anyone. No, in fact, he isn't happy with what he sees. He gets the call-outs, though. Actually, Strikers have been able to push up on one side. Bowing out for the time being as they favor kills. For now, what a play that was as Strikers up A's Crazed. Another player will fall in this game in the form of Strikers. Kills starting being traded back and forth now. Both teams scrambling to try and prevent a potential triple cap opportunity for Rated R.
Strikers, man, with the highlight reel plays when it matters. It's not just Jack doing it. Everyone is getting the kills they need here. Marsh has found that kill on Crimson's, his old duo, and in doing so, will secure that second drop shot. With that point lead, with that drop shot, and now with Crazed, down on 0 lives. We said it might not come into play. It will come into play here. If they can get 1 more kill on Crazed, they find themselves in a fantastic 5v4 situation. Rated up. Slazin trying to find this kill here. Will probably get caught out. The drop shot going to be used. Will find the kill on Phelpsy here as Marsh trying to secure it for his team. Has to back off a little bit. Has Dragons to his right-hand side, so this D-Hill should be pretty secure, but watch out for those incends as they're going to come into play ever so shortly as they get rotated across the map here. The Swarm will win in 50 seconds. We need a decap for Rated R to take this one right to the wire. It's going to be so close, Toby. And that drop shot, still 1 shot in it. Marsh has the opportunity here, just like TJ in that last series, to make the play that will save his team from a knockdown to that loser's bracket. But that incendiary as fire is coming through, takes out Dragons. And now Striker's in a very bad situation as well.
The COG team will win if somehow it stays to 1-0 apiece. And so much pressure on this man's shoulders. Marsh does work with his teammate to pick up a down. They will finalize that kill as well. And he has to be so careful, doesn't he, Fruit? He can't be too close to his opponents, just like Jackfax, in fact. One drop shot on his back. This 1v1 means so much. And Jackfax will come on through, picking up that kill. But the COG team can win off 1-0 here.
They can win, and the shot grenade's not bad, you know. The smoke grenade's going to go down. They're going to have to force a way around the outside. There's 10 seconds left on the clock here for Rated R. It's so close, going right down to the wire. 1 decap is all they need. The first meat shield comes through. Can they clean up, though? That's the question. And they have got the decap. No. This is going to be Elevate. They're going to take it right on the wire. You can see it going all the way to the Swarm side here as it goes 5-4 right on the wire. Elevate steal it, and they go through to that grand final.
What have we just witnessed? At the closing moments, Rated R have a score lead and they can win off 1-0. But then suddenly a switch is flicked and every hill changes possession, and Elevate somehow claw the victory there. Oh my goodness. 5-1, 5-2, and then 5-4. A fitting finish right down to the closing moments within seconds of each other. Both of these two teams. My goodness, Fru. What a treat that was.
What a treat indeed. I mean, we said we wouldn't mind that round 9, but I don't think any of us truly thought we'd probably see it. But what a way to, to finish a winner's bracket, really. We do see Elevate going forward, but for Rated R, they've given it their all there, haven't they? And right at the end, that shot grenade, maybe a second too early, does give Elevate the right on the wire attempt to push through. And they actually looped round in the end, didn't they? They came through that juice room as well. And just put the pressure on. Elevate, playing it right to the wire. What a winner's bracket final that was. Absolutely fantastic.
Truly is. Truly was. And I'm sure we could be in for more close games like that, Alex. That was truly something special. Of course, a pleasure to cast that one with you. And it really did come down to those closing moments, didn't it? My goodness me. I think we'll look at the bracket in just a second to see how that shifts things in this tournament. Of course, Elevate, they do come out on top there, and they find themselves in the grand final. Best of 5 series confirmed, of course, and Rated R will be thrown down to the losers bracket, where a certain team in the form of Regal Reserve are hungry to get some revenge for past defeats through.
Yeah, I mean, they've had the opportunity, haven't they, in the Pro League to give it to Rated R and steal their spot up near that top. Regal, they have got to play out here. They said, nothing other than first is going to be acceptable for them. They have the opportunity to make that happen here, but they've got to go through Regal. They've got to go through Rated R first, to find themselves that matchup with Elevate. And it's a tough road for sure, but it's not a road, out of the question for Regal. We've seen them go to that round 9 with both of these teams throughout the Pro League, and they're a team. They're an up and coming team. This Regal squad that they have the guts to do it, don't they? They will take this game to them in that loser bracket final.
And that, of course, folks, will be up very shortly. A very heart-wrenching defeat, of course, for Rated R. And they'll have to claw their way back to the grand final if they want a rematch against Elevate. Folks, you will not want to miss this. We'll be back after this short break.